So here we are with the third part of the DeAgostini 1/8 Ford GT. This part deals with the right hand side, driver's side door. You can see the instructions here, and this is quite extensive, so I'm looking forward to it. Now this is the right hand side door, here the driver's door, because this was based on a British Lola chassis, so it was right hand drive. Firstly, there's this little marker light which needs to be fitted in here. As before, the kit comes with several different types of screws and the screwdriver you're supposed to use from the previous issues. It's the door hinge which fits in here, and then what's quite nice is you've got this spring-loaded door locking system. Actually found that this was quite awkward to put into place. You may want to loosely screw into place the bracket before then attaching the spring-loaded handle. But there you can see it moves. I have to be gentle because it's plastic and I don't want to snap it. Then the roof section here clips into place, no screws needed here. And then the window, which is pre-painted, semi-open as well, very nice. Kind of loosely place that on top of the housing and then put the 3 screws in beneath. Don't worry if this isn't a tight fit, because it will be held into place with another part later on. Here's the interior part of the door. So you've got this kind of pocket section here which needs to be screwed into place once. And then when this section goes on here, it will hold that window into place and make it a nice tight fit. You've got 2 screws here which go either side of this pocket section. Also, this needs to be clipped into place at the top. And when you're happy that these screws have gone in far enough, you've then got the pocket which just clips into place on top of that, like so. So there we have it. I'll be making another one of these sooner or later. So now we move on to part 4. This one here goes to the front of the car. That spare wheel cover at the front. You've also got the kind of central armrest which goes in between the chairs, which I won't be using later. I found that this didn't fit in place here without the front section being pushed up, so I put a little glue stick under there. And then you've got 4 of these little chromed pins to fit into place, and then you turn them around to 12 o'clock to lock that section into place. Now these are chromed plastic, so do be very careful with them, as they only give you the 4, so you don't want to snap any. That's nice and simple. There will be a spare wheel that goes under here later on, so nice that that section is removable. Now on to section 5. This one looks at the engine, and there's a nice bit of history about Cosworth and their cooperation with Ford. And then you move on to the carburetors and trumpet intakes which go on top of the engine. A lot more parts in this one. I really enjoyed making this section here. I'm looking forward to this building up into a really nice Ford V8 engine. Firstly, you've got these chrome sections here. Look very carefully at the instructions to see which way they go round. Don't force it, because as before, they're plastic. Then these fit into place here. The pinholes in the bottom I found were a little bit tight, so be nice and gentle. Then these carburetors have got numbers, either 1 or 2, and also a little notch in one side to help you work out which ones go in which particular position. This is very important, as when you're adding the fuel line later, you'll need them in the right place. And then move these chrome bars out of the way to fit them in as best as possible. Then put the trumpet on top and then screw in the screw from the underside like so. The chromed parts have got a really nice finish. You've then got this fuel wire here that goes through the circular section here at the far left. Pull that halfway through. And then some tweezers can really help here to fit the fuel line onto the side of the carburetors like so. And then the second lot go through the middle. This was a nice tight fit and didn't require any gluing. Then once all of those are in place, feed the 2 wire ends through the hole in the top, like so. This section here, the top of the engine, is made of metal. It's a really nice finish. And that screws into place with 2 screws. Pretty good so far. I found that this filter section here had a little burr on one side, and also I wanted to add a little bit of realism, so I added some silver paint with a little cocktail stick to the top of the screw heads. And that just clips into place like so. There we have it. Can't wait to build the rest of that engine. Section 6 looks back at the headlights. So these are some parts which go together with sections from issue 1. Here are those parts and how it should look so far. So you'll need to clip the headlight lenses, make sure that they go the right way up into those housings, and then screw these all together onto the bonnet of the car. So these clip into place. Make sure to look very carefully. There's a small M symbol which is in the centre of them, and that one needs to be the right way up. Place the headlight covers on like so, then the headlight housings go underneath that, with then just 2 screws to fit it into place. And then do exactly the same for the other side. And that looks pretty nice if you ask me. There are little holes in the back of these to add the LED lights later on. You've also got these auxiliary lamps down here. Just need to add the lenses to the front of those. It is a good idea to do this as these are very small parts and you don't want to lose them. You may want to bag them up for use later. Now, part 7. This one starts to look at the driver's seat. Now, the seats had these kind of gold rivets on them, as you can see here in this picture. So this is the underside of them. This is a very short section, just 2 parts to assemble here. I decided to use one of my own screwdrivers as I found that these screws were a little bit smaller. Just 2 screws to put them together. However, the rivets are supposed to be black on the inside, so I used some Tamiya black panel line accent and just filled in all of these little holes to add a little bit of depth. If you don't have this, you could use some black paint and then just carefully rub it off the top. Acrylic would probably work, but I'm pretty happy with that. Some padding will go on the top of that later. And here's just some finished pictures of my progress so far. Looking forward to the next batch of issues, and I'll share those with you when they arrive. Thank you very much for watching. Please do leave a comment down below, like, share and subscribe, hit the bell icon to stay notified, and I'll see you soon.